This is absolutely ludicrous and quite frankly insane as we have some wild new reports surrounding Austin Reaves and his future in LA following some comments by one person in particular that not only has fans fired up but is absolutely crazy. We're going to break down exactly what that take was, what the new reports are, and discuss what it means going forward as things continue to escalate surrounding trade talks and Austin Reaves. We also have some interesting comments surrounding LeBron James following what has been a wild past few weeks and offseason as LeBron has made some comments revealing the truth behind his future in the NBA and his retirement plans. A ton to go over today, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get into it all, if you're a part of the percentage who aren't subscribed to the channel, you guys have been absolute beasts with the support. This is the place to be for daily Lakers content. And thank you guys for your continued support over here. Your continued support means the world to myself and Hunter and, of course, Okeshi. Folks, a lot to go over today. And let's just start with the fact that there's been a lot of discourse over this offseason about trades, about Rob Pelinka's next move, all these different things. And a new, report has dropped. We'll dive into some of the new reports surrounding trades, but I do want to get your guys' thoughts on this as Robert Horry, former NBA has suggested that the Lakers trade away Austin Reaves. And here's the full quote. If the Lakers were smart, they would do a sign and trade. And the reason I say that is because when you have a team with two players who are pretty much the same, meaning Luka and AR, and I'm not saying they have the same skill set, they play the same position, they pretty much do the same thing. It's a wash. Don't get me wrong. I love AR and I think he could play, but you don't need two of the same players. You think about the NBA, it's all about fit. You look at all the great teams, they all have something different. There's no two Jokers, there's no two Giannis's, no two Shea Gilgeouses. Agree or disagree? And I want you all, ladies and gentlemen, everyone who's watching this right now, to comment down below. Do you agree with Robert Horry's comments? Do you think they're dumb? Because I'm going to play into this now and dive into some of the new updates and reports surrounding and rumors and writers' thoughts on Austin Reaves, because there's been some more trade talks heating up as of late as it pertains to the rumor side of things. And I tend to agree a little bit with Robert Horry. And if you guys have been fans of the channel for a while, you know my take on Austin Reaves. Great player. I don't think he is the perfect fit surrounding Luka Doncic. And that's not just from the anecdotal evidence we have last season, the second half of the year, because he looked a little bit better towards the end of the year. And he hasn't been given a full opportunity yet to play alongside a guy like Luka for, have an offseason with Luka. Now, he is currently, obviously, has been training all year with Luka Doncic, all offseason that is. In the past few months, he's really started to, by all accounts at least, get pretty acclimated to the Lakers. Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves, it isn't kind of playing together. However, things can really change on a dime here. I don't think that they are necessarily, I think they can have a better fit is what I'm trying to say. Now, we know there's been reports that Reaves and the Lakers have mutual interest in a long-term partnership. But I don't disagree with what he's saying. They do play similar, positions. They do also, I question if Reaves is the best fit to play alongside Luka because of what Luka does. Now, I think they can still win a championship with Reaves as that third option, but is it the best third option? And that's where a sign and trade could get interesting. And we know there's been some recent reports from David McMenamin. If there are smart ways to pour into a championship aspirations for the next year, we will execute on those. That's what Pelinka said. And we see having those two players on our team next year as an important moment. And we'll continue to try to do all we can to deliver this franchise's 18th championship. So at the end of the day, an Austin Reaves trade at this point is a little bit unlikely, but I don't think his quotes are super, out of bounds here. I think they're pretty, if you're on that side of the fence, I think they're pretty accurate. At the same time, though, I'm also kind of, wary. Players like Austin Reaves don't grow on trees, right? And I think he can fit alongside Luka Doncic fine. He has a full offseason now to prepare with him. Be that off-ball role. We saw last year, he started off as, with his Lakers career as a six-man, obviously started off as undrafted, got signed, slowly got into the rotation, turned into a great six-man. Last year, before, of course, the Luka trade, was a point guard for a while, their starting point guard, then had to shift back to an off-ball role. I think he'll be perfectly fine. Now, there's been some recent reports, recent rumors, and some interesting things that have dropped. Now, of course, this right here was I think this was a proposed trade from a while ago, but I want to show you guys it because I have another one from recently as well. Because it goes to show the type of moves that are, out there at least. And we know the Spurs have been linked to Reaves in the past. This one is Reaves, Vincent, Vanderbilt, Kleber in a second for Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle, Jeremy Sochan in a first. Now, if I'm the Lakers, this is a very solid move. You get a very good role player in Devin Vassell. You get a very good guard in Stephon Castle. Jeremy Sochan, can make things work there. Had a video covering him, and you get a first round pick. I don't think the Spurs do this deal, quite frankly. I don't even think the Spurs would do Stephon Castle on a first straight up for Austin Reaves, right? But it goes to show the type of overwhelming offer you would have to get in order to trade Austin Reaves because of the fact that, Pelinka's basically come out and said that they're not going to trade him unless they basically didn't, they said it wasn't going to trade him essentially, but unless it's for an absolute haul, which of course is still possible, it makes things super interesting. And we know the Lakers have been involved in Wiggins trade talks. They haven't wanted to give up their 2031 first round pick. Pat Riley's a little bit hesitant on actually making a move with the Lakers because he's upset about LeBron James leaving a few years ago from the Heat, like all the pettiness there. It makes things interesting, though, because you could get a lot for Austin Reaves. And I don't think they make this trade this close to the regular season. I just don't think it makes a ton of sense chemistry-wise. I mean, we're about a month away from the start, a bit under a month away from the start of the regular season. I don't think it makes sense, chemistry-wise, anything like that, especially because he's had the whole year to I keep saying year, the whole offseason rather, to prepare, for a season with the Lakers with Luka Doncic. And I guess we'll be approaching a year in January here since the Luka trade, since, of course, the Lakers had to completely readjust. But we also see another new report here where Arhan Rai of Sportskeeda proposed a 3-team trade that would kill two birds with one stone. This trade is the Lakers sending Reaves to the Spurs, Rui Hachimura to the Heat, while receiving Wiggins, Julian Champagny, and first-round picks in 2027 and 2029. So this would involve the Lakers giving up Rui and Reaves, two starters. You get back Andrew Wiggins, who would replace Rui, Julian Champagny, a decent bench player, and 2 first-round picks. So it's interesting. Like, it kind of depends on that point how you value Austin Reaves. Is he worth 2 first-round picks and, Wiggins? Probably, right? Like, maybe. But then, of course, you're giving up, Rui to get the deal done. So, I mean, the quote and explanation is that without an all-star in exchange, Reaves could be at least worth 2 first-round picks. He had a better season than Desmond Bane, who fetched 4 first-round picks to the Memphis Grizzlies in a trade without a young prospect or an all-star caliber player in exchange. Now, to be honest, yes, he had a better season than Desmond Bane. I think a lot of teams value Desmond Bane more than Austin Reaves in a straight-up trade because he's a much better defender. You can plug and play Desmond Bane into a lot of other teams a lot easier than you can plug and play Austin Reaves, just because of the fact that he's more of a ball. I mean, last year he was more of a ball-dominant guy, but Reaves in the past has shown the ability to be an off-ball scorer. He's not a great defender, right? And that's what separates those guys. So I don't think he's worth 4 first-round picks. However, I don't mind the idea there of that deal. So let me know down below what your thoughts are. Things are getting a little bit interesting here out in Lakers land. Some interesting comments coming out. I do agree with his stance, honestly, to a degree. I know a lot of you guys will probably disagree with me just because of the fact that, I know we have a lot of Austin Reaves fans on the channel. Let me know down below. I'm not hating on Austin Reaves. I'm not saying he's not great. I'm not saying that they should trade him, but I understand the stance from Mr. Horry about the the redundantness in this move. But there was recently some talks about LeBron and retiring, and an Eastern Conference scout came out and said, if I was taking the Lakers of the field, I'd take the field. Or sorry, if I've been taking the Lakers over the field, I'd take the field. But I'll take the Lakers over any specific team, especially given that they are the ones with a clear path to pay him. And that's about LeBron James' future. After LeBron James came out and discussed that he doesn't really know what exactly his future entails here, because of course there is some rumblings about him retiring after this year. There's some rumblings about him wanting to go back to Cleveland, go back to a bunch of different teams, play with some of his friends. It's going to be interesting, and that's why this season there's so much on the line, right? You have to go out and at least be a championship contender. The trade deadline is going to be ludicrous this year, especially. It won't top last year, right? It won't, but it's been such a dry offseason, like the worst NBA offseason in the past decade, and at least over the past couple months. And obviously there was a ton of things that happened early on, but it's been pretty dry since then. So let me know down below what your thoughts are on this and thoughts on Mr. Horry's answers and comments. Thank you guys for watching. You guys are beasts. And let me know what your thoughts are. Robert Horry's comments. Cheers. Thank you guys.